Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I thought today I would try playing Citizen Sleeper. Um, I've had this one kind of like on my list for a while, um, but I haven't really gotten to play it. So let me get my little like dashboard here set up so I can see any chats or anything coming in. I love the music in this game. But then I guess I kind of love the music in all of them. What is wrong with my avatar? Oh my god. Is that better? Okay, yeah, that's better. My lord. Elisa! Hi, Elisa. What are you doing here? Mm. I love that emote. Okay, let's get started. Citizen Sleeper 2? I waited so long to play the game, they made another one! Go. Okay. Yeah, I guess you're right, it is still kind of early for you. I don't remember how any of these were. I know there's three classes, right? I know there's three classes, and you play as like this sort of automata with a human soul trapped inside. It's really cool. Machinist. A machinist repairs and modifies automated systems used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. That does not sound like me. Operator. An operator works with drones and high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise. Extractor. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Okay, so we have skills. And from my understanding, your skills influence your ability to do things in the game. Like there's a dice system. You roll a die at the beginning of each day. Machinist sounds like you? Yeah. Um, you roll a die at the beginning of each day, and you get a set number of, like, ability points that you can apply to each task that you take on that day. And then these are your modifiers for those tasks. So if I wanted to do something that required endurance, I would need a higher number in order to succeed because I would have a negative modifier. Oh my gosh, look at you, you have a streak! Aw, that's awesome. Let's see. These all sound pretty cool. Let's see, so plus engineer work, minus engagement, plus interface, minus endurance, and then this is plus endurance, minus input. I think I'll probably go operator. Plus interface, minus endurance. I'm not sure what all of these are used for. I did check out the game like 2 years ago, I think. I really don't remember how it works at all. You see, that's our little die thing there. They used it as a loading sign, which I absolutely love. You're saving lots of points for when you finally allow people, for when I finally allow people to spend channel points. Look, I I was looking at those settings earlier today. Actually, I went into like my model settings and I went into the Twitch settings and stuff. I could not figure out how to set up the channel points and the bits and stuff like that. I wanted to add custom stuff and I couldn't figure out where I was supposed to do that. I'll try again. I'll try again. Maybe after the stream or tomorrow or something. The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect, the delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking, when your self has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Let's try to connect, I guess? I'm not sure what's happening. I don't think we're supposed to know what's happening right now. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day, the sting of blood welling from a fresh wound, the friction of a fingertip, all of a sudden the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach until you can't tell one from the other. The cold slips in behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dulled nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard at your back and face, cramping your limbs. A fan favorite redeem is just a simple hydrate redeem, a redeem to remind you to not dehydrate yourself. It's probably also easiest to set up. Yeah, I wanted to add in stuff like that, but I just couldn't figure out where. It's okay. You don't have to tell me right now. I'd probably forget if you did. But yeah, I wanted to add in stuff like that, but I'll figure it out eventually. You resist a desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no intense throb or trembling nerves, just a warning, delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Let's see what else we can remember. You remember there were 10 of you. 10 that could no longer stand the indentured work, the routines, the slow decay. 10 whose belief in their promised future was slowly dismantled day by day until they realized they had sold away everything that could and would ever matter. 10 that would escape, or at least die trying. Hang on, I'm trying to get situated with my blanket. My legs are falling asleep. Okay. Some were lost in the shaft. Others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers. But the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock, even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reached any destination. Cool. Neither of these sound like particularly good options. Um, let's just try to rest. But you are restless. It has been a long time since you left, surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. Uh, you were planning on streaming today, but you were too tired. You should, well, yeah, get some rest. Get some rest. Only stream if you really feel up to it. I noticed you haven't streamed that much lately, though. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is, excuse me, it is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream where you were once a person. Rest. Time passes. The cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound, too. Everywhere. Screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. The light, white as the cold, softer and softer, until in a haze of dirty yellow a figure appears. Oh, you didn't stream for 6 days because your meds ran out and also you were kind of busy? Okay, okay. Well, that seems like a valid reason not to. I'm glad you're feeling a little better now, though. Continue. You are out. Oh, 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 here we are. Okay, now, believe this is the map of the space station we're on. Um, yeah, it's like this big old ring here. We only have this section, quote unquote, unlocked. There's a lot of locations here, but we've only discovered this one. Um, you should take your meds. Yes, yes, please take your meds. Take care of yourself, okay? So this is Dragos, the salvage yard where we come in here. Or the guy who runs the salvage yard where we came in. Dragos. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his shipyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges, where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. So, sleeper, you all thawed yet? Well, I don't see any point in ignoring him. Almost. Never seen one of you come in here like this. New frames must have better perseverance in Sub-Zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator on his shoulder. One of his symbolically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. Oh, oh wait, is he one of us then? I guess that would make sense. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. I plan to survive. You aren't sure if he hears you. I won't ask what led you to do it, to sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now. And you are just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms. The cold floor on your feet as they padded into the sleeper cells. The promise of a life off-world. But, as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are the things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot, a copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SNARP wants to protect their property. But if they can't keep hold of you, well, then no one can. Oh, okay. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence. Planned obsolescence. A built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them, and your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? You think it's obsolescence or obsolescence? But for now, uh-oh. But for now, sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away, towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. But if he's also an escaped sleeper, wouldn't he know how to, like, counteract that? Unless he isn't. No, he hasn't said anything about it yet. The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Oh, look, I've got things to be getting on with. He trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside you. Emotion? Fatigue? You shakily get to your feet. Nod. All right, you head up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Dragos stalks back into the wrecks, his drones already converging on a rusting hulk, plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Tutorial. Welcome to Erlin's Eye. On the Eye runs in Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. Okay, select locations by clicking their icon. Right, alright. End cycle. All cycles need to end. Rest and prepare for the next one. I see your little licking emote. I would lick you back if I had an emote for that. Maybe I can create a custom one. You wake curled up in the corner of the container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. It its message is readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are, on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Oh, escape, getting answers, or building a life. Well, let's think. We made it. We made it out already. I think that's the most important part. Millions of miles away from it. Do you think they'll find us here? They said this was a good place to be. I think I have a lot of questions. You have more! Oh my gosh, look at them! Why do you have so many emotes like that? Hmm. I think making some of my own will be a lot of fun. But yeah, I have a lot of questions, so I think getting answers right now is important. Let's do that. It all matters. The past is impossible to escape if it remains a blur. What S and ARP did to you cannot be forgotten. You need a way of understanding all this before you can move on. Where are you? What is this place? What happened to the others? The questions outnumber the answers. You want to change that, but you'll have to learn to survive first. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container: the mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sashes of some desiccated powder. That sounds delicious, and definitely not like drugs. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sashes smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright, polygonal shapes, like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you finish drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. There. All right. We didn't get very good rolls today. Condition. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by one segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition, now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Action dice. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. Energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle. Okay, so the first one here is the condition, this bar. These are our action dice, and the third bar down here is our energy. So it looks like finding food is going to be the more pressing task, the immediate task we should look at. Our condition isn't that bad, at least not yet. Does it say how fast it depletes? No, I guess we'll just figure that out. Okay. This looks like an empty screen. Dragos is standing in the corridor when you close up the container. He is still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor you realize it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? I think I'm fine. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? No. So maybe he's just stolen a bunch or recovered a bunch of tech from other sleepers that have come through here before. Work? Look, I'll be honest with you, sleeper. I didn't pull you out of that container out of the goodness of my heart. He looks away. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them off to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo, Occasionally we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of what comes in is scrap. God, I can't read. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figured as a sleeper you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously, I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Right. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited to moving on as quick as you can, and sleepers, well, he trails off. But things being the way that they are for me at the yard, he pauses. I need the help. Think we're all in a bad situation here. Okay, he pauses, thinking of something else to add. Oh, look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. I mean, we do need work too. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Okay, so here we have the yard, our container, low end gate, passage into the low end. Okay, so there'll be more stuff over there. Doesn't look like there's anything over here yet. Okay. Well, let's take a look at the yard then. Oh, that's a lot of words. Hang on, I'm gonna put on my glasses for a second. My eye tracking is gonna be bad, but, okay. Tutorial Actions 1 of 2. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, click and drag your chosen action dice to the slot. Now I need to clean my glasses. Blech. Of course I would pick an entirely text-based game. When I can't wear my glasses to play it. Look, don't question my decision-making, it's immaculate. Perform an action, click and drag your chosen action dice to the slot. Right, okay. Actions reward you with clock progress, energy condition, or items, depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcome. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. And negative, the action fails. Action dice affect these outcomes as follows. What's that? 6 is 100% chance. 5 is 50-50 for positive and neutral. 3 and 4 are 25% positive, 50% neutral, 25% negative. And then 1 and 2 are 50% neutral, 50% negative. Okay. My eyes... Oh, the eye tracking looks fine. Although that's good. That's really good. Usually when I do it, it makes the blinking, like really like flickery and weird. Like they don't close all the way. Actions display information about their type risk, level, and the skill and modifiers that apply to that action. So number 1 is a repeatable action. Either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. Okay. 2 is the risk. Safe, risky, or danger. Safe is no loss of condition, energy, or cryo. Risk is negative outcome means cryo or energy loss. And danger is negative outcome means condition loss, neutral outcome can be cryo or energy loss. Ooh, okay. Yeah, well that's why it's labeled danger, right? So we have over here is the skill. The skill that this action requires either engineer, interface, endure, intuition, or engagement. Right, okay, right, because we have the plus modifier or the negative modifier. Here, for modifier. Either a -1, 0, +1, or +2. This is added to the action dice when slotted and improves its value. Some actions require a +1 to perform. Okay, okay. Well, hey, if my eye tracking is working fine, I'll just leave my glasses on. Ooh, okay. So I think this is our interaction screen, right? Um, Manual salvage. It's going to take some time to sort and cut your way through the towers of salvage, but you're no stranger to hard labor. What's this one? This one's risky. Hull dissection. Even the rustiest hole can hide valuable components and materials. Extracting them means cutting carefully and skillfully. So we can put some of our lower level dice in here and not lose anything. We could put our medium level die in here and see if we can get something good. These are cycle clocks? A debt called in. Dragos is tied up in something ugly, and if he misses a payment or two, things could get nasty. Back in business. Every salvager knows they are always just one lucky haul away from their next payday. Okay, how do I... This is a leaf... Oh, cryo. Currency stored in air-walled Currency stored in air-walled sticks of memory known as chits. Okay, is that how much money I have then? Because I have, like, no money. Okay, this is how I leave. Um, Occasionally the eyes will look a little weird, but that happened anyway. Uh, okay. Okay, wow. You think my face looks weird. Okay. Mm, okay, well, it looks like this is all I can do for today. So let's go ahead and do this. Um, oh no, wait, that's a -1. That's gonna be a 0. I think that means we always fail, or is 1 the lowest we can have? Let's see what happens if I put this. Okay, so that does show. So the lowest we can have is 1. Let's do it. Oh, is that a good outcome? Tutorial clocks. Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Drago's debt, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. Okay. So yeah, we made some money. So that's good. Uh, let's go ahead and put all of them in there because nothing bad is really gonna happen. Tutorial, drivers and navigation. In Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drivers as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drivers guide you in pursuing specific objectives, depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drivers, and any tracked drive will place a yellow marker on locations that will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu via the arrow button at the top left of the screen. Okay. You are now free to explore Erlin's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you are out of dice. Okay, use mouse wheel or W and S to scroll along the station. Rotate the view with A and D. Alright. Let's see what we unlocked. No, it mainly happens when you read chat, so I'm guessing it's from your eyes being hard to see by the software from looking down. Yeah. Yeah, no, my webcam's up at the top of my computer screen, and then I look over here like, whoa, chat. Okay, what's this? Shipyard. Haven construction yards. Okay. I kinda like this one. This one's a little faster. Dock C4. Rotunda. Dock B2. Bright Market. Oh! We do need food. Maybe we should go buy some. We made a little bit. Maybe we can find a better job? I don't know, why is this red? What does red mean? Haul materials. As a newcomer, you can only gain favor by grabbing a load of materials and asking the nearest yard hand where to take them. Oh, this is danger. This is risky. Assist a shipbuilder. You don't have connections, but you do have skills. If you can get a shipbuilder to notice them, you might be in. Survive. Find a doctor. You need access to corporate pharmaceuticals, otherwise this escape attempt will come to a rapid end. Okay. Let's see, so that's yellow. Is that going to be here? It looks like it. Why is asking for directions dangerous? Why wander when there are hundreds of people that live and work within the bright market? All you need is the courage to approach them. Okay. Explore the market. The smells, sounds, and buzzing activity of the bright market makes it a dizzying place to wander, but an exciting one too. Local knowledge. The bright market is the busiest part of the eye's lower rim. You can find anything and everything here. Well, we have a good success die, so let's do that. I mean, we're looking for a doctor, right? Asking for directions could be it. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, and that filled our thing. Okay. The bright market is the busiest part of the eye's lower rim. Oh, here. You end up at a drink stall, debating the finer points of the Solheim collapse. You try to remember all the tips your companions offer you. Okay. Was that... Did we do it then? Maybe we have to wait until tomorrow. That's probably it. Alright. Oh no, we just had to leave. Okay. And this unlocked all this stuff. Hardware exchange, passage into the low end. Okay, so that's progressing the map further this way. Food or Sabine Slum Doctor. Well, it's better than no doctor. Next comes the call from the enforcer at the door. Habitation? You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the opened apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you're here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block, they have all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, your body, well, I only have 15 cryo. I don't know if we can afford this. You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Let's see if we can get a peek inside. You lean against the doorframe and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by the green indicators of stacks of sealed containers. You lean in and see amber light filtering through a far doorway, screened with plastic sheeting, beyond which blurred shapes move. The slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. "Wait your turn," he growls. Hmm. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway, and you catch a distant voice. "Send the next one in, Toshiro." The enforcer jerks his head, and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market's sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and for a moment you are transfixed by the motion. Is that Sabine? Sabine? Sabine. That's what I'm gonna call them. "Come sit," calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turned away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak, they blink, and then quickly regain their composure. "Please, sit." They gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. "Remain still, please." Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. Hmm. "How long have you been on this station?" they ask, the scanner still to their eye. We've been here like one day." They nod. "It's good you came to me." They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. "I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything." They take their arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. "Your body is dying," they say. They say it without ceremony, without trauma, but not without empathy. SNR doesn't like to see its its proprietary technology let loose, to prevent bodies like yours frames, as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or, in your case, escaping, they built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which S&ARP remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? Um, sure. Good. That may help. They swap they swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, and you are unsure if they mean for the cool touch of the metal or everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers, as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm, and S&ARP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up, as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something. Anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help. They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes. Hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside. You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yatagan. They are influential in the low end. They give me this space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds. They look away. But Yatagan has connections, smugglers from the Starward Belt, mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it. Oh, man. Okay. Why? Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have the lead. You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face. But the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Okay. Wow. That was a lot. It sounds promising and very illegal and very expensive. But I guess at this point our whole existence is illegal, right? Alright. I mean, I'm grateful that they want to help. Sabine's surgery. Let's take a look at it. Sourcing stabilizer. Sabine thinks they can source some stabilizer through Yatagan, but it's going to take a few cycles. That's 3 cycles. It doesn't look like there's anything we can do to speed it up. It's only illegal if you get caught. Yeah, you have a point. Repay Dragos. Dragos pulled you out of the salvage and set you up. Perhaps you can repay his kindness in time. Okay. Build a ship mind. You've heard talk of a fabricator owned by the Ord Exchange. With that and a few fragments, you could build a ship mind core. Gain access to the Ort Fabricator. Don't know why we need a ship mind. Is that back here? Um, Ort Fabricator? Hmm. Okay. Okay. What's this? We could explore the docks. We could get food. We should probably get food. Um, Emphis is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables and some red-flecked dressing. Smell is incredible. That sounds really good. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with the bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over a payment. Ew, fungus, get lost. Mushrooms are delicious. You join the queue. It's mostly made of off-duty salvagers, vac suits unzipped and rolled down to expose stained vests. Grubby mods, a lattice of scars and tattoos. They discuss the best food on the eye, the best drink, comparing notes on bright market dives. Their words cut through with heavy spacer slang. Ooh, spacer slang. Mushrooms have the worst texture ever? No, you have the worst opinion ever. Mushrooms are delicious. Eventually it's your turn, and you shuffle to the front. Emphas speaks in a deep, even tone without looking up. First try is free. Thank him. Smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks, the earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire, and your skin hardens in its glare. I wouldn't exactly call it an opinion considering the texture makes me puke. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I do still think mushrooms are delicious, though. I'll, hmm. I should make some kind of, like, body mod. You can, like, put, like, a little chip in your wrist, and it makes it so that you like mushrooms. Just like, oh, it's time to turn on my little mushroom eating buttons. I know you, sleepers, Emphas says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. Tell him a story. Huh, okay. You begin to tell him about your journey to the Eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility, and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container and the endless cycle spent within it. Now, it seems you tell him like some dream that you once had but can never forget. Okay. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you, and you are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually, you trail off, running out of words. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time, we can talk some more, he smiles. But next time, you pay. I told you my stories. Isn't that payment enough? Mm. He slams a heavy hand against a button on the burner's side, and it shuts off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades. Next time, then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to oil the walk. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, deliciously sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. No, what is it? The circular patterned scars? What does that mean? A new drive discovered. Hmm. Get to know Emphas. Oh! So like what I was just wondering about? Emphas loves two things, stories and food. Maybe if you supply him with both, you can hear his story. Eat at Emphas' stall. Okay. Um, and we still have our thing here. Oh, and that filled 3 hunger bars. Oh, that's good. Okay. Um, huh. Okay, I think we should pick some priorities here. So obviously we're gonna be working on this one because we need to eat. And this one because, I mean, we already set that one up and we need to live. I don't think this one is particularly high priority. So maybe we just focus on this for now. Um, I would love to explore some more, but I don't want to get too, like, branch out too much and end up getting overwhelmed and failing everything, you know? Um, so maybe we just come back here and we work on this. Even the rustiest hole can hide valuable components and materials. That could also maybe help us with this objective. Yeah. Let's try it. Nice, okay. Beneath the pockmarked holes, you find hidden containers, alloy plating and wire bundles thick as your arm, preserved in their trunking. Back in business. Okay. Nice. And then I think we head back home, right? End cycle. That was a productive cycle, I think. Okay, that's 2. I think technically we could go the whole day without eating, right? This time, you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal rig, surrounds you. For a moment, you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then The connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station. No, you feel the station, like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. What? Is We're not that far gone yet, are we? What? Let's touch it. Let's touch it with my grippy little fingers all over it. You find a point in the station, and you connect to it, pulse through it, follow loops and paths under and around it. You touch more points than you have fingers, and then you try, in a moment of impulsiveness, to connect them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, try to touch them too. You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you, insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second and you feel it waiting there. The station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored. And then it's gone. What? Also, we got one less die today. Is that because of the our condition here? Probably. What was that? What on earth? Okay, we have 6, 2, and 1. Alright, that's reasonable, I guess. Oh, are these red because they have things counting them down? Okay. Cycle clocks, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Right, so I think we just, in order to get this Dragos thing here, we just need to fill this clock before this one fills, which shouldn't be too hard. Wait, because we did 3 things last time. And we have 3 notches in here. So that would be another 5 dice we have to dedicate to this. And this is 6, 7 more? 7 more. Let's just take our one thing. Let's just do that. Did that not? Oh my god, okay. So it's a little bit more complicated than just dedicating dice to it. Alright, let's take a little look around. Old Dock Terminal. Word exchange. Hardware exchange. Do we have stuff to do? Oh, there's upgrades. Okay. We don't have any upgrade points right now, but that is good to know. I was kind of hoping for an inventory I could look at. don't think there is, though. Maybe we just go look at the art exchange anyway? Play the exchange. The flow of chits and components in the exchange is complex, but a sharp eye and some tight trades can net you a good margin. Oh, gambling. Okay. Sell components. The art exchange is always hungry for new hardware to buy up. Break down and sell off, and you are happy to supply it. Oh, this is our inventory down here. Right now all we have is money. Okay, trusted trader. There's an old ship mine fabrication stack in the back of the market, but only trusted traders get access to it. Oh, this is the ship mine thing again. Okay. Why do I need a ship mine? I think that popped up after we looked here, right? The construction yards. Right. Repeatable action. You don't have connections, but you do have skills. You can get a shipbuilder to notice them you might be in. I think this is just like this is a job we can do. This is the job we're doing now. I didn't add to it because you lost the 50-50, not a negative outcome. Oh, I didn't realize. Okay, thank you. Hellion Crossing. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of the Hellion system are rare, but those that do always return, eventually. Okay, so waiting on somebody to get there. Salvage sortie. It takes several cycles to reach the starboard belt and return loaded with scrap from the old wrecks. Okay, waiting on that. Oh, this is a lot. Okay. Steel dock plans. Wait, what? Haven security has to have plans. Stealing them would be the fastest way to get to know this place, and the most dangerous. Oh, okay. Explore the rotunda. The rotunda of the old dock is filled with passageways and concourses leading to all kinds of docking bays. Alright. Right, okay. So, looks like right now this is the focus. Maybe getting in here. This is probably a job upgrade for us. Right, and I don't think we need to eat today. How much does it cost? Hang on, let's see how much it costs. 15. We don't need to eat today. We can eat tomorrow. It fills, what, 3? At least 3. Maybe it would fill all of them. Okay, let's see. Let's take our die. Let's do this one here. We don't have a lot going on right now, so I think just going all in on this is gonna be good. Negative outcome. Right. Gotcha. And we can do this. Nice. 55. That's not bad. Okay, and that gave us 2 more? Alright. Beneath the pockmark holes you find hidden containers. That's the same as last time. Okay. Nice. We can save our money by eating tomorrow instead of today. Okay. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparkles with glittering lights like stars reflecting in a winter lake. It is clearer, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads, you see bright shapes, patches of shimmering light beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of a thread across the rig, through these forms, then leap off into the void. You begin to understand. These are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops that it seems almost impossible to parse, but you begin to try. Let's start at like the fixed points. The nodes are glassy, bright, but in all this flow, the only solid fixed points. You approach one, a pyramid or a triangle. Dimensions are different here, and lean close to it. Inside, shifting layers conceal a tangle of threads, a meeting point of exchange. But before you can glimpse any further, the glass clouds and hardens, cutting you off. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzle boxes, one leads to another. There is so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see two lines, two threads pulling in different directions, as if they were tied around you. Let's do the first one. The first thread leads out, away from the station into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. How do we know that? What? The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something. A sphere shimmering above a strange angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you, hasting you. You open your eyes. Time is short. Okay. So there's someone tracking us? And I know because I hallucinated it. Okay. Alright. Red eyes aren't that bad yet. Or right now. Tutorial. The cloud. Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the eye. A network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data. But be careful, these networks are old and strange. Click the I button at the top of the screen to toggle this view on and off. Here. Oh. What? Keynode. I don't think it's gonna stop. Okay. Havinge agent. Okay. This is interesting. We can see stuff moving. What are all these? Okay. One more cycle? Yeah, okay. We should definitely get some food before we starve. Eh. Ah! Okay. I think that's 15, I swear to God. Okay. Okay, so it is three. It's three hunger bars. So we can do one more day and then eat again. And then fully. Hmm. Or we could do 2 more days. No, no. Okay. It probably had text there I didn't read. Um, Memphis spiced fungus is one of the few things potent enough to stimulate your limited taste sensors. It's incredible stuff. Fungus fan. Memphis doesn't trust people easily, but he notices his regular customers in his own quiet way. Okay. Hmm. We should probably check this out once we get once it fills, once I get here. Um, okay. Yeah, let's just focus on this. Positive outcome. Oh, we're almost there. Okay. Um, did I? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's just see. Neutral outcome. And we did it. Okay. Um, did that unlock something then? It takes you a while to get a handle on Dragos equipment, but before long you are precisely slicing down whole plates into neat piles. Okay. So we did it? Dragos. You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across a vast dark shape suspended below the dome. They flicker across scorched hull plates and bent structures, spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. She's a beauty, isn't she? Dragos stands to the side, focused on the hulking ship as it is lowered into the yard. She is. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Dragos for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think of what became of its crew. What happened? What do you mean? He glances at you. I managed to convince our salvager friends to give it to me on credit. That's what happened. No, it happened to the ship. Not my concern, he shrugs. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. The drones start to crawl over the hulk of their lights illuminating flashes of dented hull. Watching you wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion, locked inside that container, the wreck of the Essen Arp freighter lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered. Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own? A womb for your rebirth into this strange station. You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about this ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this shipyard. I don't know. I mean, it sounds kind of like another excuse to make us stay. I don't want to stay here the whole time. Drago squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we're up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side. Winter Light. I mean, we can do one more, right? Just one more. I can stop whenever I want to. He claps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few, and we can make a start. A real beauty, Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting and then slip out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. No, what if, like, we can stay. We can stay, but only if he pays better. Tutorial, character, and upgrades. You've completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. Oh, sorry. Yawn. Access your character menu via the arrow button at the top right of the screen. Right. Okay. Right, so we have one upgrade point. Can we upgrade this? It's a -1. Oh, this is a positive one. Transfer intercept. Chance to gain cryo on interface actions. Oh. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is already upgraded, which means our next upgrade would be here, Icebreaker. Agent nodes give double data reward. And I think that's part of the, like, dark realm that we just unlocked. This one, it's a -1, so we need to start by upgrading it to 0 before we can do any of this. Efficient extractor. Chance to gain random scrap item on engineer actions. Predictive reasoning. Dice actions display potential positive and negative outcomes. Okay. Thrill Seeker. Chance to gain energy after any engage action. Energy. That's the one we upgrade with, or we maintain with food. Okay. And we can take scrap and sell it at the exchange, right? Let's do that. Upgrade skill. Well, hang on. Is this the whole menu? Yeah, this is the whole menu. And we need, oh, I see, we need more upgrade points to get these. Gotcha. Okay. Yay, we did it! Alright, one upgrade point for this. Alright. Nice, I'm happy with that. Alright, well, do we get started on the new ship then? Forensic trawl. Investigating the winter light means picking through its systems and structures with care. It won't pay, but you may find answers. Oh. Cutter salvage. Ship breaking is tougher than slicing up loose salvage. But Dragos is happy to pay you a fixed wage if you're up to it. Okay. So this is 0. We only have a 3 die left. So we could go through the information here. Or we could get started trying to get into the shipyard. Let's just see if we can get some information. Oh, you don't need to thank me for making a clip on your stream. That was hilarious. That moment was hilarious. It actually turned out better on yours than it did on mine, because my mic, for some reason, like, it didn't come through the little, like, yell I did before. It didn't come through on mine. Oh, man. It's impossible to understand anything with the ship being salvaged as you look. Dragos gives you a disapproving look. Aww. End cycle. There we go. There we go. Oh, I hope, Sabine gets those, Oh, that we check on that today, right? Let's see, 2 5s and a 2. That's not bad. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wait up. What? Is that Feng? Feng is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. A Haven Systems engineer. Do I know you? He grins. You do now. He puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around. Just want to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard to get a start on the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was it old Erlin said? The eye opens for us all. Nice idea, but, well, not always very practical. He glances back at you. We do our best, but it isn't easy. You pass together into the main hallway. Havench. We are all one dysfunctional family. Feng puts an arm around you. I'm not part of the security branch, though. Don't worry. I'm with systems. Havench? Who is this guy, and what nonsense is he spouting? I don't understand any of it. Oh my god. Think of us as an administrative association for the Eye. Depending on who you talk to, we either emerge as a response to or a continuation of Andrew Erlin's original union. What? He smiles. Personally, I avoid the topic. He stops you in the quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I've been seeing some unusual network activity and, well, I know a little about you sleepers. I have a small proposition for you. He glances around, but this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare. Then, when you're settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. If what they say is true about you sleepers, well, there's work to be done. And how much does it pay? I'm only stopping by if you tell me how much it pays. He pats you on the back, his voice bright and his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks off down the passage, raising a hand in farewell. Where's my money? That motherfucker. I guess we can stop by to see how much he's offering. Oh my god. Okay, Sabine. Do you have medicine for me? The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eyes in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark, and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. We have 70. I still don't think that's enough. But I guess we'll find out. I have it. Sabine stands with a case open in front of them, a set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. What? They have it just like that? It took 3 days. How did they even get it? I have no idea how, Yatagan. They trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. I'm the test case. That seems to be the case, unfortunately. I'm not sure we have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. I guess that's a good way of building in a self-destruct mechanism like that, I guess. Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. I mean, that kind of made sense to me. Which means the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. They glance away. At least if the stabilizer is genuine, the only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin readying the syringe. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. Alright, let's do it. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe, and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection, but with little response. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and then it returns. Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness, muffled noises like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? What happened? The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yatagan acquired the case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you're going to have to do that somewhere else. They gestured to the door. I have other patients. Sorry. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You are going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room, and they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you've been out. Sabine, Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. I think we might have been in there a while. Um, I really want to know how much this stuff costs. Um, does it say here 100? Of course. Oh! Oh, but we got fully stabilized. All right. Um, does that mean we'll get full dice tomorrow? That's good. That's really good. And it only took a few days to make 70. And this is the start of the game, so I'm assuming we'll be able to build up a better system. We should get food. Food's so expensive. Okay. We have food, we're stable. We should work on that new ship. Okay. This is danger. Danger is the one where... Okay, let's just do it. Maybe we'll get some salvage. Neutral outcome? 16 cryo. That's not too bad. The hull puts up some resistance, but you manage to push through just before your shift is up. Yard clearance. History or no, the ship is salvage. As Dragos always says, break it down, move it on. Okay. Neutral outcome. Alright. Oh. Scrap components. We can sell that, right? Just down here at the exchange. Alright. Start auction. 12 cryo. Okay, and plus trusted trader. Alright, that's good. Oh, it says buy a vial of stabilizer. You need access to corporate pharmaceuticals, otherwise this escape attempt will come to a rapid end. Find a doctor, wait for... buy a vial of stabilizer. Okay. Oh, we don't need that yet. I'm still working on that. Build a ship mine. Study the winter light. We have a 2. We can use that for that. Neutral. Okay. Picking through the wrecked cutter is slow work, but you start to piece together the impact patterns and blast marks. Alright. Dragos' nerve. Dragos seems increasingly nervous about your presence in the yard. You're not sure he's going to hold his nerve much longer. Well, I thought he was trying to get us to stay forever, so I guess that answers that question. Wait, hunted? Wait, what? Okay, I'll look at that in the morning then. Oh, that's the most dice we've ever gotten. Okay, I'm thinking maybe you only get as many dice as are covered by your little stable bar there. 2 3s, 2 2s, and a 6, and that's not great, but it's not bad either. Hunted. Someone out there is tracking you, following your trail. It won't be long before they arrive. That's not good. Fang. Okay. Sleeper. Fang catches your attention as you approach the Havinge building, leaning against a bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come in this way. Security, all that. He gives you a look. You know. He slams a button, and the bay creaks open. blinking lights in the dark beyond it. You follow Fang inside. Truth be told, oh, truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up into generators and diagnostic slates, and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There is a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Fang leans on a server stack and gestures around you. Like it? Um, um, to be honest, uh, what is all this? He taps a nearby server stack, which bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block, speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station. Strange symbol and number. The one Solenheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up at the Eye and think they're seeing a constant, a concrete reality. But this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks, and you follow. We were keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new. Dragging it away from those corporate origins. He stops. At least, that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines, humming all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections, you can, can't you? Oh man. I mean, yeah. I mean, we can see into the shadow realm, right? I think it makes sense, right? You are between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. But what does he need me to do? You glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Fang notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run, though. They're tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. Oh? There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see. Access protocols lost to time and decay. Secrets, a shitload of secrets. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice. Below the hum. Even in Havenj, there is old growth. Those whose roots trace back into those bad old days. You help me dredge up the past, and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours. He winks. What do you say, Sleeper? Well, is there more compensation? Because I also need money. I need a lot of money. Being illegal is very expensive. Fine. Fang pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. I hope not. Fang passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift, he smiles. It's in Solenheim cipher. I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that into an old network gate, and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. Oh, okay. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. Okay, first of all, yes, money. Second of all, how dare you call me poor? He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, sleeper, and I'll see you soon. You step, blinking, back out into the passage, those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. Alright, we gotta drive. Is that... Did we use that oh, wait, hang on. Disable your tracker. Fang has said he will disable your SNR tracker if he can get to the bottom of his mystery first. Okay, well I can't help you get to the bottom of your mystery if I'm dead. Extract the pass. Fang wants to dig into the old Solemnheim networks in search of secrets that could change the future of the station. Extract Solemnheim data for Fang. Okay. Fang's Bay. Data drive. Fang will pay you well for any Solenheim data you dredge up from the Eye's old systems. What he does with it is anyone's guess. Okay, so I think I go in here. Keynode. What's this? Solenheim cipher, an old cipher granting access to the systems of the original station. So, here? Right. Okay, this gate conceals a network of systems which have been untouched since the Solenheim collapse. So just like that? Neutral outcome. With a squawk of noise, the old gate flips open, granting access. Action unavailable. Is that it then? What happened? Are these... Okay, so I need to do more. Tutorial data actions. Data actions allow you to extract data from the networks of the Eye. They work like dice actions, but in order to unlock them, you must match your dice to the one displayed in the right of the action. Oh my... If you have a +1 or +2 modifier in the interface skill, you will be given more possible dice to match. You can use any dice that match the dice displayed. Once unlocked, the data can be extracted. Okay, so we have 2 3s. Okay. Bypass. Transfer interface. This node is orbited by the remains of a corporate countermeasure broken long ago by hackers. Extract data. So we have an encrypted key. A stream of passcodes able to unlock the station's aging maglocks? Okay. Oh wow, okay. It was a 4. Or a 2, it says? Okay. Oh, this is really cool. Oh, a Solheim data. A set of data unearthed from the Eye's old corporate system. So that's what we're selling to him, right? The cloud. As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread strung tight around you. It tethers you in place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver. It soars somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light, shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown, astringent processing. Um. s- Uh. Fuck. Maybe it can't see us if we don't move. Please hold. What is that? Okay. The thread around you thickens until it's a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel, of light circled around you. It's blinding for a moment, and then it's gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. What are you? The shape paces around you on lithe legs, though there is no ground here to pace on. Entity, identify, origin, serial, cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. Oh. Entity, identify, origin, serial, cadence. Stay silent. Refusal. The figure's strange head rotates. Brackish signature of and not of attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head, thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Stop. The figure halts its threads, its head twitching. Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience? I'm a person. Incorrect. You are an entity. All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste. The one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. Sealed dock. An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Hunter extends a razor-edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Strike. You lash out with all your force. Not a physical strike, but a focusing, a spike of interference leaping out like the tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates. Wake up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. Oh, I see. Okay. 1 or 3. Okay. 2 or 3. Let's use our last 2. That was crazy. um, wow. Okay. That's really cool. There's so much going on here. Let's not use all of our stuff there yet. I think we can sell the data though, right? We've got a couple. Fang's eyes light up as the data is transferred over. He hands you a stack of chits and waves you off. How much? 25 is better than nothing, I guess. Okay, we need one more. Or we could do more stuff at the shipyard. Okay. Let's do that. Get some of this. 16 cryo. Okay, okay. Do some digging for some information. You discover a hidden compartment with spare components and backup data storage. This has to contain something of use. Okay. Sounds like we can sell it. Okay, okay, nice. I don't want to. I keep thinking I need to click over here to leave. What's this? Oh yeah, buy some scrap. Most of what comes in from the starward belt is corroded trash, but sometimes something valuable can be found among the salvage. Unload containers. Oh, that sounds like another job. The freighter crew are eager to get their payload into the ore exchange, and they'll pay a wage to anyone willing to help. I'm very busy. Okay. It always gives us a really nice mix of numbers to work with. I like that. You never really feel like you're getting screwed over any of these days. Okay. This is good. I think today we should get that last piece of data there and figure out how we can use the keys. Oh, that doesn't reset. I thought that reset. It doesn't. Okay, so that's a key node. I guess we have a key. Okay. What was this one? A 1 or a 3? I have plenty of 1s to get rid of. This node is leaking corrupted contractor lists from the early days of the system Palladium Rush. Alright. Alright, we got some data. We have key node. Katagian agent. I don't know what that means. Oh, I thought I used my key for that. Mag locks. Okay. Encrypted key. Okay. So I have 2 keys, 1 piece of data. The hunter is on its way. Some aging enforcers' implants are chirping out comm signals. Time to see what they're talking about. Okay. I'm always a little disoriented when I get out of there. Let's go ahead and sell this. There we go. 15 cryo. Yeah. Cheapskate. Alright, let's see if we can get that tracker turned off. As you enter the bay, Fang is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms, unseen eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads! Fang's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on a metal casing. These snaky shitheads. What? Who's snaky? Sleeper! Fang's smiling head pops out from behind a stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the dark floor. Fang is sat in front of a set of monitors mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Fang waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the marks of institutional records. People? People, yes, but whose people? I don't know. It doesn't say. Solenheim. Bingo. He taps at the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in. All employees of the Eye's original owners, and he leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one. This is a snaky shithead. He stabs at the screen with a finger. The name reads Hardin Hurst. Who's Hardin? That, says Fang, giving you a sideways look, is the thing. He drags a stool out beside him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Hardin Hurst in Havenge. He waits for your reaction. In Havenge? That's it. He's right here on the station now. Fang leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Hardin worked on this station as a... Fang leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Fang raises his eyebrow at you. Our Hardin was keeping the money coming in for Solenheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out to were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Good old Hardin shuttered thousands of Palladium Rush workers into an infrastructure which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back into Solenheim. I see. How do you know this? I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I am a child of the collapse. Fang turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solenheim contractors. They ate in Solenheim canteens, worked on Solenheim ships. They breathed Solenheim air and slept in Solenheim beds. Fang's voice rises as he speaks, his hands fists on the terminal edge. And the work that paid for that existence? The cycles of hard extraction out in the belt? Solenheim took their cut. This was a company down, so to speak. And my parents were just another in the long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing at Hardin once again with his finger, strategized all that, did the sums, and then somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going. Still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. But how? These guys, they were big time. There's a lot of money. There's a lot money can get you if you're a company man. Fang relaxes a little. But how is Hardin still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles. So, we're going to find out. Hardin is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back around the eye from here. Fang brings up a map of the lower eye. Havinge might be born out of Erlin's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy is not. It is not. Hardin happened to float to the top. Fang zooms in on the far yards. Fang grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid, and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Solenheim executive. We need proof. Fang holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a ripworm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. This one is set to the scent of Hardenhurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Fang puts a hot hand on your shoulder. But you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Oh my god. Okay, this is really cool. Sorry, I'm really quiet right now, but this is really cool. Oh man. Fang grins. If you can extract yourself a Havinge cipher from a Havinge agent, they sometimes carry them among their data caches. You can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. What's in it for me? Rooting out a corrupt snake not enough? Find the information and I'll start work on that tracker of yours. Fang scratches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, it'll send it back here to me. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. Alright, I see. Oh, I'm such a good guy, I'm such a good guy, but I'm holding your tracking chip as a hostage. I'm gonna take a little bite of my food real quick. Okay. I don't know. He's an interesting character. He's an interesting character, and I don't particularly dislike him. I don't particularly like him either, though. You leave Fang digging through data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the Eye as it once was, a vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast Solenheim-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems, looking for a new life. The hope of a better future engineered to line someone else's pockets. It's an idea you are intimately familiar with. You think of Hardin, still alive, still a part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever really past. Okay, I see. Um, so we have a ripworm, and as soon as we use it, we're gonna have to deal with that hunter again. Hmm. Is this what we need to put it in? Hello, can I go any further? I can't go any further that way. There's more stuff this way. Key node? No, that's where we get keys. I still don't know where we use them. Okay, so I'm assuming once we unlock the Havinge agent, or the Yatagan agent, then we can put in the worm, right? Okay, what's this one? 1 or 3? I don't have either. Havinge agent. 2 or 3? I have a 2. Okay. Well, okay. Oh. Okay. This wasn't what I was trying to do, but we got a lot from that. Cache of raw data from Havinge hardware. Havinge cipher, a valuable cipher granting access to encrypted Havinge systems. Okay. Well then. What's this? Nothing here. Fang seems to have disappeared. Maybe we need to get into the other area. Hang on. Help Fang chase his leads. Okay. Hack into the shipyard and slot the ripworm. Okay. How? No, it must be back here, right? It must be this one. Yeah, whatever. I'll figure it out later. I already spent enough time on this. Let's work on this. Picking through the wrecked clutter is slow work, but you start to piece together the impact patterns of blast marks. Let's try to finish this out. We have plenty of time, so let's finish this out, and then let's get the finish cleaning out this stuff. Okay. Oh, you discover a hidden compartment with spare components and backup data storage. This has to contain something of use. Alright, we just need a little bit more. And we'll be able to finish that out. Nice. I wonder what happens once we finish that. Also, we've got plenty of money, so let's get some food. I almost forgot today. But that's alright. Alright, we got that. Wait, did it say anything? Alright, and then let's cycle. There we go. We did a lot today. Well, okay, no, our rolls aren't that good today. We need to take care of that guy that's hunting us. Shipyard. So, right. So we're trying to hack the shipyard. You don't have connections. Right. So I assume we do that by going in here. They have this node. Okay. Let's do this. Extract data. Encrypted key. Right, what do I use these for? Do I keep going? Is that... No. Does it unlock more stuff? No. No, don't need more key nodes. We already got an agent, and that just gave us more information. How do I hack them? Maybe I have to infiltrate the place? He was saying I could do it without even getting close, but I'm starting to think I might just have to infiltrate the place. Which, I mean, I'm not terribly against. Okay. But we don't have particularly good rolls to be doing that today. Yeah, risky and danger. Okay. This is safe, so let's just work on that. See if we can't win some 50-50s. Neutral outcome? Hell yeah. Negatives. Plus shipyard clearance. What's that mean? There we go. We did that. Okay. Squeezed into the office at the entrance to the yard, you lay out everything you have on the winter light across the metal desk. Your makeshift forensic notes glow on Drago's old writing slate, overlapping lines and scrawled annotations. A set of drones scans fill the small terminal with a spectrum of colors, a heat map of damage and decay. A crumpled printout from the office's ship registry lies beside them, a synthetic paper so thin it's almost transparent. Let's start at the top. Reactor failure. That is the verdict that anyone would have returned after a cursory glance at these stacked heat maps of the remains of the winter light. On the terminal screen, the ship is shown in section blotches of color marking the approximate damage to the ship sustained. Dominating the view is a single blood-red rose radiating from the ship's fraction drive. A simple story, a catastrophic failure of the drive core leading to a fatal hull breach, a well-documented failure, likely brought on by wear or misuse. But you aren't looking at the rose of the reactor. You're looking at a small, paler mark, one that might be easy to miss at first glance. It is thumbprint-sized and delicately placed over the control servos for the ship's main external airlock. It suggests a controlled, shaped explosion, one designed to punch through the hole and allow access to the airlock from the outside. You are looking at it because it is troubling you. Your attempts at a reconstruction of the winter light before its fatal accident consists of a series of overlapping sketches and diagrams showing possible layouts and configurations of the gutted cutter. This was no off-the-shelf model. It was heavily modified, parts replaced with inventive configurations, the new retrofitted into the old, handmade joints and reconditioned filters. This was someone's pride and joy, a lifetime project kept running with care and intuition. So we're thinking it's it was sabotaged somehow. Hmm. Not by the person who owns it, evidently. It also contained a set of hidden compartments. You missed them at first, where the hull had been thickened, the corners rounded to disguise the change, but they are there. A plain list shows the registration history of the Winterlight, the gaps between the entries tantalizingly opaque. Its first registration was a couple of thousand cycles ago on this very station, logged at the central hub. From there, the registry tells the story of a busy ship, one that rarely stayed on station for more than a few cycles, and often took on voyages that kept it away from the eye for up to 100 cycles. The Winter Light got little rest. An old ship, many cycles under its belt, carefully maintained. A reactor failure predicted by a carefully concealed external entry. A suite of hidden compartments tucked away. This was the Winter Light, and this was its story. But that's not the full story, because there's something else. It is little more than a list, a tiny chunk of data you were able to pull from the ship's systems. The main systems were fried, of course, but the Winter Light had a separate system, one tucked away in one of its hidden compartments, armored, air-walled. This list, the only recoverable piece from the whole system, is a partial inventory. It details the contents of the hidden compartments. Some of it you recognize, some of it you don't. Ship mind ROMs, shimmer cryo chain codes, and then the final entry, passenger sleeper. You stare at the list on the terminal and try not to think about what it was like arriving here in the cold for so long, half frozen in the freight container. Had this sleeper been smarter, luckier? How had they convinced the Winter Light, a smuggler ship if you ever saw one, to extract them from SNR? Luckier, you laugh. There had been no remains found in any of the Winter Light's compartments. You had checked. They were so lucky, you guess. Not in the end. You hold up a vial of stabilizer to the light. This was all you find in their compartment. A parting gift from SNARP. Well, it won't go to waste now. You put it back in your pocket. Oh, we got a stabilizer for free! Oh my god. The thought still bothers you, though. Two ships carrying sleepers coming into the same yard? Two, one after the other. That feels wrong. Maybe they get more escapees than originally thought. You flicker back and forth between databases on the terminal, thinking, and you see that thumbprint again. the mark of someone trying to get in. Someone who entered the winter light with precision and speed, and when they were done, left the reactor to clean up the rest. The thought of that person makes you shiver. Suddenly, the office door creaks open. Dragos stands in the doorway, staring at the equipment and notes you have assembled. What is all this? He snatches the slate from the desk faster than he realized he could move. You, you running an investigation here? What am I paying you for? The drone on his shoulder starts whining shrilly, his anger passing to it through his implants. Um, uh, I mean, I kind of wondered why we were doing it in the office. Like, why not do it in our, like, shipping container? Or this guy isn't gonna yell at us for slacking off. Um, where's the ship from? Leave this alone. He starts shaking his head. I know you have a lot of questions, but this isn't the way. He turns away, muttering to himself, this is the last thing I need. Oh. 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 I don't know if I should say either of these things. I think, personally, I just let him walk away. The ship had a sleeper on it. Dragos freezes, suddenly angry. What did you say? He pushes past you to look at the terminal. At the list, he shakes his head. So what? Aren't all of you trying to escape? You're lucky it was you that made it out alive, not them. He folds his arms indignantly. Dragos seems to steady himself and then turns back to you, the heat map of the reactor failure reflected in his headset's glassy eyes. I've given you a place to stay. I've given you work. He stumbles over the words, unsure what to say. There's plenty others who would have sold you on, turned you in, but not me. No. I know. He softens. Look. You've helped me too. He quiets the drone. I've done well by you, and you've returned the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat. But this obsession you have with this ship isn't going to work for me. I can't have you making my clients nervous. I can't have you digging up whatever it is you are after. He sighs. You can't work here anymore. What? But we haven't finished. We've almost finished deconstructing it. He reaches over and switches the monitor off. Forget about the damn ship. You have enough to keep you up. Dragos reaches across and flicks off the terminal. As the light of the monitor dies, a kind of eerie calm falls on both of you. Whatever this was, it is done. You made it out, Sleeper. That means you have to move on. Oh my god. I... God. Then you run. You don't come here. You don't scream, you don't shout, you run. In the dark, Draco's headset glints, and you wish for a moment you could see his eyes and meet them. Maybe then he would understand. You get up from the desk, and Dragos gathers the notes, stuffing them into a pocket of his overalls. He holds the door for you, his headset as expressionless as always. You can stay in the container. I won't take that from you. Don't come back. His tone is final, definite, with an edge of disappointment. You walk out of the office, and then head out of the yard, not stopping to look back. You leave the yard, thumbing the vial in your pocket, knowing that this at least guarantees you a little more time. And as you walk, your mind once again drifts to the person who killed the winter light and whether or not that person will come for you. They probably will. I think that might be the person after us. Um, okay. Well, we got an upgrade point. Use scrap components at home to repair condition. That's pretty useful. Um, Agent notes give double data rewards. That's pretty useful. I think we're gonna save our upgrade point. Okay. Fuck. Alright, so we can't sell data to Fang, and we can't, what's the stabilizer? Okay. We can't work there. I guess shipyard. I mean, if we're trying to infiltrate them anyways. That's the next logical step. Man, I'm really bummed about that. Let's just do this. I don't like to do the dangerous ones if we... Oh, positive outcome. Alright. 5 cryo. That's bad. Alright. I'll sleep again. And I guess... now's as good a time as any. Stream's been going on for a while. We need food. Ooh, but we have really good dice. Good thing to come back to. How do I save? Time since last autosave? Okay. Well then. Thank you all for joining me here. That was a lot of fun. I hope you all enjoy this game as much as I do. I'll probably throw it in a couple random days of the week just to surprise ya. Keep things interesting, right? Alright, well, so long, y'all. Thank you for joining me today.